Welcome to ClubhouseNews.com. You're tuned into Clubhouse News Weekend for the week ending Saturday, May 21st, 2016. I'm Chloe.
And I'm Ken. Who Wants to Be President? The ongoing reality show that is the 2016 presidential elections is pretty much where it was last week, with Republican presumptive nominee, billionaire businessman, and reality star Donald Trump still waiting to see who his Democratic opponent will be, as he looks to unite the Republican Party and rally them behind his candidacy against either Hillary Clinton, former First Lady, U.S. Senator, and Secretary of State, or 71-year-old Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders, who just won't give up. In fact, Bernie won the Oregon primary last week, making it the 21st time he's beaten Hillary, who responded by barely squeaking out a victory in Kentucky by less than 1%. But because of the superdelegates, Democratic Party members that can pick whichever candidate they want, what would be a fairly small lead in delegates is almost insurmountable, with Hillary now at 2,293 delegates to Bernie's 1,533. And she needs less than 100 more to win the Democratic nomination. As for Bernie, he wants superdelegate reform, saying it takes away voting choices. Stay tuned.
President Obama this past week awarded the Medal of Valor to 13 police officers in a ceremony at the White House. The Medal of Valor is our nation's highest honor for law enforcement and recognizes police, firefighters, and other first responders for exceptional courage, since these heroes put themselves in harm's way to protect citizens, sometimes fatally. President Obama thanked each of the officers and their families, including the late Philadelphia Police Sergeant Robert Wilson III, who was killed while buying a gift for his son. President Obama states, "To a person, each of the honorees acted without regard to their own safety. We're so grateful they were there, some off-duty, others on duty, and all rising above and beyond the call of duty."
Thankfully, they are still with their families today because these officers were where they needed to be most.
And speaking of heroes, Memorial Day is next Monday, May 30th. It honors American troops in the Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marines who have made the ultimate sacrifice in defending our great nation and its freedoms. Memorial Day was first established after the American Civil War, in which President Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves and led the Northern Union forces to defeat the Southern slave-owning Confederates. 3 years after the war ended, the head of an organization of Union veterans established Decoration Day to decorate military graves with flowers. The first major holiday observance was held at Arlington National Cemetery in Washington, D.C. Presiding over the ceremony were Washington officials like Union General Ulysses S. Grant, who eventually became our 18th president. Over the decades since, Memorial Day evolved into a national holiday, and thousands of flags are now placed each year on the 260,000 graves at Arlington National Cemetery each year. But to many of us kids who are still in school, Memorial Day is important for another reason: the start of summer vacation. So while you're hanging out at the pool, eating some barbecue, and having fun on this holiday weekend, remember this: without our great troops to fight for our freedom and liberty, you might not be having so much fun. Happy Memorial Day to all those in our armed forces, and more importantly, thank you for all you do to keep us safe.
Our nation has set aside this day to pay solemn tribute to patriots who gave their last full measure of devotion for this country that we love.